is long as hell, okay? So I'm not going to talk long. I really don't have much to say because I said it earlier. Megan was right. Tori, you're a piece of shit, and I hope you lie. Ooh. So this is the audio of Kelsey at the precinct telling them, basically sitting down with detectives and telling them what actually happened. And I believe every word. Like, it felt genuine. It didn't feel forced. You didn't have to think about it. Like, that was basically what happened. And, yeah, again, I apologize, Megan, okay? Tori actually did it to you. Sorry. But I'm going to roll the beautiful bean. I don't know why I call it beautiful bean footage, but I just call it beautiful bean. Anyways, roll the beautiful bean footage, okay? Drop down and let me know how you guys are feeling in the comments. Like and subscribe. And I'll see y'all later. Bye.
But everybody's gone. Everybody's gone. And so now it's just me, Megan, Tori, EJ, the stylist, and Kylie, of course.
You're listening to Street TV. What time it was when you came to?
No, again, I wasn't following the time Tori showed up. To my knowledge, Megan called a few people on FaceTime and asked him to come over.
When you kind of came to, though, you saw him there. How were you feeling there at that point? As far as
I was aware. Okay. I was okay.
Okay.
So now we're still in the pool. It's Kylie, Tori, and Megan. They're kind of in like an area. I'm actually in the hot tub at this point. I believe that was a hot tub. I can't remember if that was a hot tub or just a smaller pool she has. EJ is sitting. She has like a cabana style setup. Mm-hmm. He's sitting over there on his phone. So we're all just kind of just minding our business. You can hear at the end of the pool, Megan is just like laughing uncontrollably. And it wasn't normal. I never heard her laugh like this, so you can kind of tell something was wrong. Tori did call for my name, and I acted like I didn't hear it. And Megan was like,
A warm meal, some fresh fruit, a bedtime snack. A healthy, happy childhood is not possible without food. Yet millions of children barely have any food at all.
No, come back. I heard that, but Tori was going between Megan and EJ said, Kelsey, it's time to go. Like, let's go. It's getting late. The alcohol consumption, it's time to go. So I said, okay, I told Megan, hey, let's go. And she didn't want to leave. So I just went upstairs. I was going to go pack our suitcases because Kylie had, when we got there, Kylie led us to a room where we can change and hang out and sleep or whatever. So I went upstairs to pack our suitcases. They were already packed. EJ had packed them. So I put my, it's like a pajama set on. It's a top and a bottom. So I put my set on. I came back downstairs. I loaded EJ's vehicle, who we rode with. I loaded his vehicle with our suitcases. And, at that point, I went back in. She wasn't ready to go. So me and EJ stayed outside. I sat inside of the car with Tori's security.
Do you know that guy's name?
Quan.
Okay.
Quan.
Now, he was security. Was he also basically Tori's driver, too?
Tori's security driver friend, kind of just playing all of the roles, right.
Did you know him before this date, Quan?
I honestly had never met Quan.
Okay, that was the first time you
That was my first time meeting Quan.
Did you know, was he local to LA or did he travel with Tori? Do you know?
I know he didn't travel with Tori because, like I said, that was my first time meeting him. I don't know when Quan came in or how long they've been acquainted, or he was just there for that night. I can't tell you.
So he had a separate car.
Tori had a separate car.
And that's the car you got into?
That's the car I got into. I sat in the front seat. Quan sat in his driver's seat. And I was actually on FaceTime with my sister, and we were talking, and, just kind of one of those things like, girl, I can't believe we're here. We used to watch this growing up.
Yeah.
So, we're talking regular talk. And then so EJ says, Kelsey, tell Megan it's time to go. Her wig is coming off of her head. So at that point, it's like, okay, no, we have to go decide. And I said, Megan, let's go. She didn't even know her wig was coming off. And I said, your wig. So that made her come on and get up out the pool. So Tori stayed in with Kylie. So we come outside. This time, we're making our plans to leave. I guess at some point she tells EJ, no, Tori's taking us home. So they transferred the luggage from EJ's car to Tori's car. And so once they did that, Megan jumped in the front seat. Now Quan's driving, and I'm in the back seat behind Megan.
And EJ just drives off in his own car, right?
Not just yet.
Okay.
So I want to be clear and make sure I'm not losing my. Okay, so once we do that, okay, Megan, she tells Quan to get Tori, like it's time to go. So Quan goes in to grab Tori. We stay in the car. Tori comes out and he's like, "No, take them home." His demeanor was he didn't want to get in the car. Why? I don't know.
Tori didn't want to get in the car.
Tori didn't want to get in the car.
Did he seem upset at all?
It wasn't that he was upset. I think he wasn't upset. He just he did not want to get in the car. He didn't want to get in the car with us. Okay. Like I said, at that point, I'm not aware of why. So anyways, we leave. So Tori stays at the house with Kylie. It's me, Quan, and Megan. So we leave. EJ follows out behind us. He goes home because there's no reason for him to follow us. He's going home. So as we're leaving, Megan is still doing this laugh. I'm kind of just in the back seat, just like, I don't know, just in the back seat. And then I guess she realizes that she had left a slipper, a Louis Vuitton slide that she wears. And so she demanded Quan to take us back to Kylie's. And so we pull up to Kylie's house, and everybody's kind of confused. Her security guards are outside, probably like 6 security guards.
Talking about Kylie's security guards?
Correct. And he calls to see if it's okay. We come back, and they let us in. So once they let us in, Megan jumps out the vehicle. I stay in the vehicle. Quan follows behind Megan, so it's just me at this point.
Oh, Quan actually gets out of the car with Meg.
Right.
Okay.
So they're inside. It's for a little moment. Then immediately they rush out. Everybody rushes out.
Who's everybody? Okay.
Tori, Quan, Megan. Kylie, she comes out, but she stays on her porch, or her door entry. So Megan jumps back in the front seat. Tori gets in the car, which is now he's behind Quan. He's behind the driver. I'm still behind the front passenger. And Megan says, sorry, I got to cuss, but she says, "Bitch." Kylie said, "We got to get the fuck out of here." And I was like, what? Like, why? And so Quan was like, they were in their argument.
You're listening to Street TV.
I guess Tori and Megan. And so what they were arguing about, I don't know. So it was kind of like, whoa, okay. And now we're leaving.
And so Megan's in the front, Quan's driving, you're in the back seat behind Quan.
Megan.
Or behind Megan, and Tori's behind Quan.
Correct.
Okay.
So we're leaving, we're driving, going down the road. Megan is laughing still. It's like an uncontrollable laugh. And just out of curiosity, I want to know what's funny. So I'm like, what is funny? Like, what is going on? And that's when Tori butts in, and he's like, "Yeah, Megan, why don't you tell your best friend what's so funny? Why don't you tell her how fake you are?" And so I'm confused because this was random. And so I said, "What? Like, what are you talking about?" And Megan's like, "Kelsey, don't listen to him. He's just trying to make you mad." And so I'm like, what are you talking about? And next thing you know, the arguing, began with Tori and Megan. They're arguing, they're taking jabs at each other. He's calling her out her name. He's calling her, I've never heard him speak like this,
Do you remember any of the stuff he was saying?
I can't honestly recall, verbatim. He was definitely calling her, bitches and hoes. And so, I stepped in and I said, you're not going to talk to my friend like that. I don't care what y'all got going on, but you're not going to talk to her like that in front of me. So he got offended, and now me and him are arguing. And we're honestly, when I argue, I can say things that are hurtful too. So he was saying mean things, so I was saying mean things back to him. And
do you remember any of the exchange?
I'm about to get to what I do remember. He began to say, I'm from, he just started I'm from Canada. Basically, I guess insinuating that they're gangsters or something. I don't know. I'm from Canada, my nigga. Like, do you know? And I'm like, okay, and like, so, you know, now we're just going back and forth. It's like I'm going back and forth with him. He's going back and forth with Megan. He said, my nigga, I'll shoot you. And so
He said that to you?
He said that to me. So he reached, like he was going to grab something. He reached towards the middle console, but he never pulled anything out.
Now, can you describe the middle console on the car? There's like I assume like some type of flat cover or lid.
Correct.
And then when he reached towards it, you just saw what? His hand moving?
Yeah, it was just a motion that he reached. He never opened it or, you know, so it was just a motion. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, and if you shoot me, then I guess it's my time to go. Like, you know, like, and if you shoot me, just know I have people who will ride behind me, you know, in my support, you know, and he's like, you know, he just talking mess still, him and Megan, me and him. So then Megan, I guess we're on Sunset Boulevard at this time, and Megan demands for, sorry, that's mine.
Your ring. Mine.
Yeah, that's the same thing.
Megan demands for Quan to pull the vehicle over. So we pull over, and we're actually by a bus stop. Megan jumps out the vehicle. Tori follows behind her. Quan stays in. I stay in. Because it's just like we're in the middle of a road. Like, we're just arguing. This is, you know. So Tori and Megan, they sit at the bus stop. They have, I don't know what conversation they had, a conversation if any. But when they got back in the vehicle, it was calm. Tori then began to...
When they got back in the vehicle, do you remember where everyone was sitting?
Yes, sorry. Megan got back in the front seat. Tori got back in behind Quan, so behind the driver's seat. So it was calm. Everybody was calm. Tori then began to apologize to me. And he's just like, I'm sorry, Kelsey, you're just a real ass nigga, and I had to tell you. You know, and I'm like, what?
An apology.
Right, and so I'm like, but he's saying it loud. And so Megan can hear this. So that kind of stirred her back up. So now they're arguing back together. At this point, it's uncontrollable. Can't stop it.
And do you remember anything at this point that was being said between them?
At this point, they're arguing about each other's artistry as a career as an artist. She's telling him like you're only this and that because you're on a remix with Jack Harlow, and he's telling her things about her career as an artist, which I can't remember what he was telling her, but they just started hitting each other with their career as an artist. So now we're at the final, you know, the next stop where the incident occurs. And this time Tori demands Quan to let us out. He's like, let these hoes out, let these bitches out the car. This is my car. And so we're like, okay. Like, okay, we'll get out. So he pulled the car over and everything here transpires. Megan jumps out of her seat, which is the front seat. I open up my door, which I'm behind Megan. And when you're getting out of a vehicle, you're not really just like looking at any direction. You're just kind of getting out the vehicle, you know? Especially, we didn't expect anything to happen next, so we're just getting out the vehicle. I get out of my side, and no sooner do you know, you start hearing gunshots going off. I look up about it was 5 gunshots. I look up maybe at the second and third gunshot. That's when I look up. You're listening to Street TV. And you see Tori. He's now in the front seat. I guess he must have jumped over. It was very smooth transition because we didn't hear it. I didn't hear it. And he's leaning over. The door is open, and he's leaning over like the window.
Which door? Is it the rear
right,
door?
the front right. So where Megan was sitting.
Okay, so his door's open. In the
driver's
side.
My door's open in the back, and the front door is open to where Megan got out. The front right passenger.
Both doors on the passenger side
are open. Correct. So.
And is he shooting through the window or over the top of the door?
No, he's shooting over the top of the door. So.
Over the top of the door would be the rear passenger door?
The right front passenger. So, again, as I said, he must have jumped, or I don't know how he did it because it was very smooth. And he was leaning over the front passenger door, and you know she was shooting the gun.
Where were you standing at this point?
At this point, I'm standing kind of like my body's still like to the side behind the door, the rear passenger door. So I would say like my left side was the rear passenger, and my right side was kind of like this. Like this is the door, and I'm.
Are you still partially in the car at this point?
No, I'm out of the vehicle. Okay. I'm out of the vehicle. I'm just not around my door yet.
Yeah.
So
do you know where's Megan?
So I was about to speak on Megan. So she was walking away when this happened, but by the third, fourth shot, and by the time I look up, she's facing towards us, and I've described it like a deer in headlights. Mm-hmm. I'm short. I'm 4'11". The vehicle is kind of a little raised up, higher than me, so I can't really see. I can only see from her chest up. That's all I can see. But the way Tori was angling the gun is kind of like, it wasn't like straight. It was like, down.
Mm-hmm.
It was down in her direction?
Definitely in her direction. In the air, yeah, definitely in her direction. So at that point, we kind of were in shock, Did
you hear him say anything as he was shooting?
He did not say anything.
Okay.
There was no words at that point,
What was Quan doing? Could you tell?
I think everybody was in shock.
Okay, so he wasn't part of it.
Right here, at this point right here, he wasn't part of this. What I'm about to get into next, I can't tell you guys where Tori pulled the gun from. Like I said, the motion when he first threatened me was middle console, but I don't know if that's where the gun was.
But you had said he referenced like shooting y'all earlier while you're in the car, right?
He threatened to shoot me.
As if he had a gun
Correct.
in his control somewhere.
Correct.
Okay.
And so after the shots rang, it was like I said, 5 shots. We kind of froze, and by the time I get back into I snapped. Megan had either crawled or walked or limped over to. She's in a driveway. She's in a driveway on the side of the driver's side. She's in a driveway. Tori sits down.
In the front passenger seat?
In the front passenger seat.
Okay.
He's sitting. I guess just kind of shocked also. So I run over to her. I immediately ran to her. She's the forefront of my thoughts. My job as a friend in general is just naturally is to protect my friend, protect. So now I'm in defense mode on the behalf of Megan. I ran to her. She's on the floor. I never looked at her feet. I never really just got to look at her. I just know when I ran to her and she grabbed me, she had blood. So in my head, she had got shot because shots just went off and she's bleeding. Yeah. That's what I think. So I see Tori coming around the vehicle. It's dark. Lights are flat, hitting him. It's almost like a scary scene. So again, I'm in defense mode. I see him coming around the vehicle, and in my head, I'm thinking he's about to come over here and attack us.
Mm-hmm. Do you see whether or not when he's coming around the vehicle if he still has the gun?
I don't believe he had the gun.
Okay.
So like I said, I just thought he was coming over to attack us. So I stepped in between where he was coming to where Megan was, and at that point, that's when the assault between me and him happened. He assaulted me. And Quan then he just comes and he picks me up like a little doll. And he's like, Kelsey, they do this all the time. And I said, huh? She's bleeding. She's been shot. I don't know if y'all know she's shot. By that time, he's already to where Megan's at. So, I don't know what goes on in that driveway.
Who comes towards Megan? Is that Quan or Tori?
So initially, Tori comes,
yeah.
And that's where I stepped in, and we had an altercation. He physically assaulted me, and then Quan came and separated him from me.
What exactly did he do when he was assaulting you?
I mean, everything. My adrenaline was so high. I don't know if he was hitting me with a closed fist or slapping me. It was just it was a physical altercation.
Were you wearing a necklace that night?
I was, and I'm gonna go to that part too. Now Tori's in the driveway with Megan. Quan is holding me. Like I said, he's big. He just picked me up and said, "They do this all the time, Kelsey." And I said, "Huh? No, she's bleeding. She's been shot,
yeah.
To my knowledge." And so I'm still in defense mode. I'm still in, like, I gotta protect her.
To street TV.
So I look up and I see the vehicle is in the middle of the road and it's on. The door is open. So my initial reaction is to cause a distraction, and I jumped into the vehicle and I threw it in jerk, and it worked.
What does that mean?
I just like jerked it, made it move, made it like move just to get him away from Megan. Because in my head I'm thinking he's over here gonna just attack.
So you got in the driver's seat of the car and moved it a little bit.
I made it jerk.
Okay.
I didn't even move it. I didn't even drive or anything. I just made it jerk.
Okay.
And so when I did that, it did exactly what I needed it to do, get Tori away from Megan. And so I don't know how he got to the vehicle. I don't know if he ran or walked, but he got to me really quick. And that's when he started pulling me by my hair. He was pulling me by my hair really hard. And again, I wasn't afraid for my life when the incident was going on with Megan. I was in defense mode. But then I became afraid for my life when he started like pulling my hair and my neck, because it was really, really hard. That's when the necklace...
When you said he pulled on your neck, what do you mean?
Like he was like almost like... I didn't lose my breath, so I wouldn't say choking, but he was pulling my neck and my hair. And then so here comes Quan again. Quan he's in between us, but Tori has a good grip. He's not letting go. So it's kind of like tug of war at this point with my head and body, and I'm scared. And I kind of dumb myself down just to get him to let me go. And I said, Tori, what are we doing? What are we doing? And when I said that, he released. He let go. And so now Megan is standing. We're all standing at the front driver door.
Did you see how Megan got to the front driver door at all?
I can't tell. No, she just like hopped, walked. I can't tell you, but she was there. She was standing at the front driver door, and Quan, they're just like, get in the car. We didn't like have a pushback about getting in the car because we're in the middle of nowhere. At this point, we don't know what to do. Mm-hmm. We honestly didn't even think about calling 911 at this moment or anything. It was all a blur.
Now, did you have on long nails that night?
I did. My nails were broken off.
Okay.
That was during your
with
fight
the
with Tori?
altercation with Tori,
Okay.
correct. So now we get in the vehicle. Quan gets back in the driver's side. Tori gets in now replaces Megan's seat. So he's in the front passenger. Megan gets in where I was sitting, which is now behind Tori. And now I'm behind Quan.
How is Megan